Markers.
I love the models for these.
Yes, I mean they're Yonlo's beard and a half to assemble apparently.
Are they? Oh, they're Yonlo.
Well, because they've each skeeter they're riding has wings and like 6 legs, and like guys with grappling hooks and ropes hanging off the grappling hooks. So there's lots of fiddly bits. There's 1.5 million fiddly bits.
Oh my god! See, don't we just love fiddly model? Weird. We love your fiddly. No, actually, I think it's every time I put together one of your fiddly models, I die a little bit inside.
That's why we have tweezers.
I know. I don't have tweezers.
Yeah.
I have these fat, nubby fingers.
I hear that a lot from people complaining. My fingers are too big. All right.
That's what she said. Okay, we'll end it right there.
So Iron Skeeters
is
they're enforcers.
Enforcers. Oh wow.
Construct. Yeah, because they're supposed to have their Sky Pirate upgrades.
Oh,
that's what
right.
they're candidates for.
You're correct. Yeah.
But this is the only box with no minions. Well, technically Burns is a minion, but its 3 are enforcers. So they're both living and constructs. So that's interesting. You can drop
or.
But they count for all of Earl Burns' construct stuff.
Okay.
So they're one of the big ones he can heal with his melee.
Or give him a suit.
Right, because they're constructs or whatever. It's leaders and constructs that get the suit. And these are the ones that's really important for. So they're 6 points. They're Gremlins and Sky Pirates. Defense 6, Willpower 5, 6 wounds, Walk 6, Charge 6, Height 2. So really quick, especially since they have Flight.
It was 6, yeah.
Very similar to Maris in both Flight and Immolating Demise 2. So not as burny as she is, but... Their Sputtering Exhaust is a weird one. So when this model completes a walk action, it may flip a card that may not be cheated. On a Crow, this model suffers 1 damage. On any other result, place a 50mm exhaust in base contact. The exhaust, and not with any other models. So base contact with it.
So that works well with Earl's. Earl's ability to give to.
Well, let's check his real quick.
Yeah.
So his says. Friendly construct on 6, add the suit, discarded to all dual totals. So there is no dual total.
Oh, it isn't dual, so you don't get it.
However, it will be for... okay, so that's the Sputtering Exhaust.
So you can't use arrows. Okay.
And it's a height 5 blocking. Remove all exhaust at the end of the turn. So it blocks line of sight, but not movement. So it's not quite as good.
When do you place it? You place it...
So after you complete a walk, you flip the card. And if it was not a Crow, you get this 50mm marker. Height 5 blocking.
So in theory, you can move and then just put it right in front of you.
Right. Or wherever it needs to go. Now, of course, that's a walk, and you could flip a Crow and just be screwed and not get the cover you were hoping for.
Just take 1 day. Yeah, yeah.
But that's
in true Gremlin fashion.
Right. So, it's okay that 25% chance to fail on a cover marker you really need is kind of... But
well, 1 in 4 is going to fail.
Yeah. Now I just go to their tactical real quick. So their 0 action tactical is hop aboard, casting 5, target number 11, range 1, target friendly, height 1, non-leader model without flight ability. So height 1, not a leader, no flight.
Okay.
At the end of this model's activation, place the target in base contact with this model. This action must declare triggers if able. So this is where... So they use their 0 at some point in their turn, and the model is placed in base contact as they haul it around. Now, on a ram, we're coming in too fast. After placing the target, push it 3 directly away from this model, then the target suffers 2 damage.
Oh god.
So they get thrown forward.
And you have to take triggers with this.
So unless you cheat something else or have Earl's aura up. Mask, a whole new world.
Oh my god. Whole new world.
I can show you the world.
Okay, awesome. I love it. All right, I don't care what it says, but let's see.
After succeeding, target heals 2 damage on a mask.
Fucking awesome. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Alright, okay. What's next?
On a crow, put me down before blah! After succeeding, the target gains slow.
Alright.
So you can hurt the target, you can slow the target.
Mm-hmm.
What a rush! After succeeding, the target gains fast. On a tome, they gain fast.
Man.
So you could hurt them or heal them, slow them or give them fast.
Oh, and if you have Earl, you pick the one you want, and then...
Right. And so that's, at the moment they cast it, they get the trigger.
Yes.
So, you know, as long as they're within range of Earl when they
Oh, it
take
has to be a
this
height
action.
1 model.
Has to be height 1, so it can't be your height 2s.
Oh, you can't do it with... Well, if you have Francois, you can do it with Francois, but you can't
But
give him stilts.
He can't have stilts at the time that he does it, right?
Yeah.
So, lots of interesting... That's one we're going to see a lot of combos with
Yeah.
them moving people around. I mean, but even grabbing like a Bayou Gremlin, just to toss him into a corner to help him run schemes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so... Then his attacks.
Mm-hmm.
His one action ramming speed. Melee 5 versus defense, and a range of 2. Close.
Okay.
Target suffers 2, 3, 4 damage. So pretty normal.
Yeah.
On a crow, you get choke on exhaust. After succeeding, the target gains poison 2, and then move the model up to 3. So you get them.
They're coughing and
they move.
and you get to move.
Another move for the captain's pounce.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2-inch melee. Then they have their grappling hooks. 1 attack, grappling hook, shoot 5, defense, projectile 8. Target suffers 2, 2, 3 damage. So damage isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
But on a crow, after succeeding, the target gains slow.
Mm-hmm.
And on a mask, string them to the ship. After damaging, push the target 5 in any direction.
Mm-hmm.
So they can either slow the target or drag them 5. Or pull them around 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely not like a straight up damage dealer.
Yeah. But the beauty of it is this tactical action.
Exactly.
Like
Between the tactical and the grappling hook.
Yeah. To be able to give a model fast, what do you need? You need a 6 of anything.
Or you need
you need 6
tomes.
and 6 of tomes, yeah.
Unless Earl discarded tomes to give you the tomes.
Yeah, I really like an iron ski. Let's go see the pirates before we say...
Yeah, so we've got the pirate upgrades. So like we said, some of their attacks didn't seem amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sputtering or ramming speed's okay. Grappling hook is more about the triggers.
Yeah.
That's where the beauty of the Sky Pirate upgrades come in. Now, I just want to start with the one everyone has been going on about, that it's the hovering airship upgrades. So there are 4 Sky Pirate upgrades, and Zip can get as many as 3 of these for free.
Yes. For his Sky Pirates.
From his, you're right, for his Sky Pirates. Hovering airship. The model gets the following attack action.
I like that. Yeah, I remember.
One action, drop the pianos.
Oh my god, shoot a 5.
Versus defense, range of 12. The target suffers 3, 4, 5 damage. So suddenly, your iron skeeters go from that wimpy little damage spread that gives out poison
to dropping pianos.
To dropping pianos. This attack ignores line of sight and cover, must declare triggers if able. So there's no limit on how many times you can use this.
Yeah.
So if you gave them fast, or they can drop multiple pianos.
Yeah.
On a mask, my work is done. I race triumphantly into the clouds. And just like Zips, you immediately take a walk action.
Yeah. And Zip can take that one too, right? Yeah.
He can take one of these, or he can take technically multiple of these Sky Pirate upgrades. Yeah. They're all just Sky Pirate Rare 1.
They've been practicing.
While damaging, the damage flip gains positive. So your gremlins have been practicing dropping stuff. Are they dropping the loot? After succeeding, both players draw a card.
And then mutiny! After resolving, the target may take this action against this model. This action may not declare triggered. So you
drop pianos on them, and then they drop pianos on you. So that's, again, if Earl burns, if a construct or a leader is using this action, they get whatever suit he declared.
Yeah.
So he could discard a rams, and give whoever's dropping pianos a positive twist on damage to every single attack. So suddenly they've got this huge attack.
It's still a shoot of 5.
Right, it's shoot of 5.
So, but I mean, if you're going after, if you want
but
the
imagine
damage,
Teddy, like dropping this on a Teddy, defense 4, just
yeah, and positive the damage slip because he has impossible to wound. Increase
that
that likelihood of
helps cancel out impossible to wound. You still can't cheat.
Yeah, you still can't cheat, but you can still increase the chance of the game that severe you need.
Right, any of those low defense models are going to hate this attack.
Yeah.
We've got a treasure map.
When a friendly model within 10 discards an enemy ski marker, it draws a card and then discards a card. Apply one of the following, depending on... Oh, so when your opponent discards a card, you apply one of the following suits.
Whenever a friendly model discards an enemy ski marker... No, so the model draws and then discards a card. So the card you discard for your draw and ditch...
then you apply it. Okay.
Then you would apply
There's
it.
Whiskey. The model heals 2 damage. Script. The model controller may draw a card. Stones. The model's controller may add 1 soul stone to the crew's pool. Okay. And fuel. The model may push up to 3 inches. I think that might be one that you would consider on Zip.
True. So a friendly model within 12 discards an enemy ski marker. Now, it's also not bad for the captain, or the first mate, because he likes to discard. So
you're right. Yeah, treasure. Yeah.
So that's one that he might like. And also he already has good actions.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see. He's got good enough.
Yeah.
That just giving him these bonuses for doing his normal removal. Now, model within discards enemy. Yeah. So
airship spotlight.
Yep, that's an interesting one.
Light 'em up. Casting 6. Resist walk. Range 8.
So resisted with their walk. That's a weird one, but...
the target gains the following condition until the end of turn. Exposed. Attacks targeting this model ignore cover. So if they're hiding in cover, you can ignore it.
So you always get exposed.
And it has interesting triggers, which is my eyes! After succeeding, the target gains the following condition until end of turn. Blinded. This model may not take shoot actions at the start of this model's activation and may discard 2 cards to end this condition.
So no shooting unless they ditch 2 cards at the beginning of their activation to get rid of the whole...
Magnifying lens, the model gets burning 2. Stumble around blindly after succeeding, push the target 2 in any direction. And it's too bright. After succeeding, the target must discard a card if it will. Okay.
So it gives you a lot of like weird debuffs in
it's cast
addition
6
to
too.
ignoring cover.
And it's resisted by their walk.
Yeah. So the big thing is I'm not sure how often you want to ignore cover that badly. It could help with zip.
Yeah.
But I think mostly you're taking it for the other abilities. Burning's not great, but possibly getting rid of cards in their hand, that could be a good way. Hell, even stumbling around.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to poorly handled explosives.
This is a very interesting one.
Catch! Casting 5, target number 12, resist by defense, range 8. Target non-pig model gains the following condition until end of turn. Volatile explosives. When this condition ends, this model and all models within 2 suffer 2 damage. If this model is killed, all models within 2 suffer 4 damage instead. This action may only be taken once per turn. Disable it! Casting 5, target number 12, resist defense, range 8. Place a ski marker friendly to the target in base contact with the target. The target gains so okay, that's a... Alright, so many interests. Okay.
It's 2 different actions you have.
Yeah.
One of them gives a target volatile explosives, which causes them to explode. When this condition ends, and it's until end of turn. So at the end of the turn, it's going to trigger and it's going to cause this pulse of damage.
So in theory, you can give that to Zip, put him into a bunch of guys,
you could,
and then end at the start of this model's action. You may discard. No.
So you would have to. This is at the start. So maybe Zip's already there, and then they give him hard-handed explosives, and then he ends the condition to cause an explosion and then run away.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily great for that, but in general, just the ability to target enemies, friendlies, whoever, and give them this volatile explosives. Not to mention if they're about to die anyway. Imagine having just regular bio gremlins, and so one of them's already butted, or he does reckless. This is his second turn using reckless. He's only got 2 wounds, so he runs up to them with poorly handled explosives. He's gonna pulse for 4 damage now because he's gonna die.
Or give it to.
And then now here's the weird thing. Disable it. You think, oh, you have to have a condition. No, it's just a separate action. What's up?
All right, you do poorly handled explosives. You give it to one of the skeeters. You give it to a stuffed piglet.
Non-pig.
Oh, goddamn. Okay. All right. You're right.
Non-pig.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn it. I was thinking of giving it a stuffed piglet and launching it in, have it flip for blowing up, and then blowing up again with the.
Well, remember that this only happens when the condition ends, and I don't think that happens if the model dies necessarily.
No, because doesn't the condition end if the model dies?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, we gotta look into it.
That's one thing that gets a little weird on the timing.
Yeah.
And then disable. It's just an entirely separate action. Where you basically steal one of their AP, giving them slow in order to make them drop their scheme marker. So
which could be good for...
You can do it to your guys.
Or the captain could...
To drop yours. Or you can force them to drop an enemy, and then that can trigger treasure map and the captain's ability and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's the Sky Pirate upgrades.
I like them. A lot of... They do have that gremlin zaniness to them.
And here's the thing that's interesting. So, hovering airship is the one that's obviously a standout, getting to drop pianos. Now, a lot of the others, you look at them and you think, oh, I'm not
kind of
sure
situational,
about the soulstone cost.
But if there's 0...
You're going to get them for free based on what Zip has. And Zip's going to get you anywhere from 2 to 3 of them for free. So... Yeah, that's why I think.
But see, are iron skeeters rare? 2 or 3?
Probably rare 3.
Yeah.
Because I know there's 3 in the box. They're not actually rare.
So
you can have as many iron skeeters.
But
as
they
you
are
want.
6 soulstones, so they're not cheap.
Right. Yeah, they're mid cost.
I see a lot of I see iron skeeters. Not only in Zip's crew, but I think I see iron skeeters being used
anywhere for 1 or 2, and a lot of crews could be very.
The option to giving gremlins, that's probably the easiest way to give fast to individual gremlins. I mean, we aren't gremlin.
I mean, even reckless isn't fast, right? It's just add an extra AP.
An extra AP.
Yeah.
So in theory, you can have a gremlin that has 4 AP.
If you I mean, imagine Iron Skeeter just grabs a Bayou Gremlin, pulls it halfway up the board, Bayou Gremlin reckless, and is a fast scheme runner with 4 AP, just run around.
Okay, scheme marker, walk, scheme marker, then walk again. Oh, jeez, so many options.
Now, Rooster Riders are height 2. That's one of the reasons that it's the height restriction.
Yeah, we'll if I bet you if we comb through all the books, we could find some gnarly combos.
There's plenty of gremlins out there. Yeah. Even just getting your slop haulers into position.
Giving them fast.
Right. Not only are they in position, but now they have fast, so they can really do their thing.
And you can get that. Maybe there's slower gremlins. And you just want to move them.
I can see 1 or 2 iron skeeters just helping Sommer's crew
and I was
with
thinking
positioning.
you can move leader, but it specifically states non-leader.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I
would think Gang Francois. Yeah, totems. Lenny's height 3. Actually, I was mistaken. He's not height 2.
Oh, he's 3.
Yeah.
He could be height 4, as tall as Nightmare. He could grab. The Iron Skeeters can grab height 1 pigs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can grab pigs.
Oh, Pierre Ravage.
Pierre? Was it?
He's the one that explodes.
Explosive Demise 4?
Between everything he does, he likes to be up in the enemy's face anyway.
Oh, and then he has oopsies, too. Oh, here, we'll talk about that. We're back. Oh, there was a little bit of a hiccup. One of my battery packs wasn't fully charged. So we had to wait a few days to get back to this. So we were talking about the Iron Skeeters. Now we're just going to finish up an overview with the Sky Pirates. I really like the Iron Skeeters.
Yeah, it is a very interesting box overall, and yeah, the Iron Skeeter's definitely going to see some use. I can see one or two in like Sommer.
To be able to pick up gremlins and
just because yeah, he likes to play with a lot of those height 1 things they can pick up. That was their limit, right?
Yeah, it has to be
the
height
big
1.
one was height 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Also makes you wonder. Now I don't think it's worth most pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might be interesting to do sort of a suicide forward with a stuffed piglet, but.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, just that that maneuverability
Well, one
that is
good thing you
great.
could do, I can see you can do with them is a Wong. Wong, him carrying a stuffed piglet, because he's pretty damn quick.
Yeah, they're
And just flying forward and launching a pig into there.
yeah.
Or even, even the Skeeter itself. The Skeeter is a little bit expensive for Wong to be to blasting off
Blasting into and off of
Yeah.
Well, I think at that point you're kind of looking at rooster riders anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But as long as you're moving other models and making it worth your while, that's when the Iron Skeeters shine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, the pirate upgrades for them. Like, I really do like the fluff behind the pirate upgrades. And just the pianos.
And anybody can take an Iron Skeeter and give it, drop the pianos.
Yeah. And it's only one soul. Well, if
it's a
he
one
is
soulstone upgrade, yeah.
If Zip is in.
Yeah, he can make it free potentially.
Yeah, so
Right.
you can bring. But see, the thing about it is in Malifaux, I'm trying to think. Is there ever a time when you take 3 of the same model?
There's plenty of times. Oxford.
Yeah.
I would
Oxfordian Mages.
No,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
take Oxfordian Mages before the new upgrade that made them even better to take 3 of.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of times when you might take 3 Terratots, usually a grow list, but now, that's where most lists, the Iron Skeeters, you're not really going to want 3.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason you want 3 in Zip is just because his whole crew makes them so good.
Yeah. And then the first mate. When you start looking at the pirate upgrades, the first mate has become better. Because looking at the first mate just by himself,
he's an odd one.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the other thing: because Zip makes those Sky Pirate upgrades free, even though they cost you 0 soul stones, they still count for show force. So Zip is going to be pretty solid there too.
And I mean, in theory, what you can do, you can put it on the first mate, put those 2 ones, and then just have them like leaping over there and just.
True. He'd probably take his own upgrade and possibly Sky Pirate. Yeah, depending what you're doing.
And the Iron Skeeters too. I mean, you can just. They're not like super hardened, but I mean, defense 6.
So for 6 points, they've got 6 wounds, and defense 6. So they're not super sturdy. They don't even have armor, despite the metal.
Yeah, I know.
Skeeters
When I first saw them, I was like, "Oh, this thing probably has armor 1." You know, it was like, no.
Yeah. Nope.
No
you're,
armor
You're
whatsoever.
just shooting the gremlin or the rickety flyer he's on.
Okay, I think we hit all the Sky Pirate stuff. Now,
Yep.
I actually get to represent something in my faction. Well, actually, I did the last one with the Outcasts.
That's because everyone has Ten Thunder stuff.
Akaname. This one's pretty. For sure. So we'll go into him, but I'm trying to find a place for him.
He's the big poop monster thing that's eating garbage.
Yeah, it's not the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. We're going D&D references.
Yeah.
Now. The Uglatek, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Uglatek. Otegio or something like that. Okay, well
maybe that's it.
Forget it. The Akaname. It's a minion. You can have 3 of them in your faction. It has
rare 3. Okay.
It's rare 3. It's an Oni and a Tri-Chi. So Asami can summon them, and you can play them in just gremlins.
And they're affected by all her Oni stuff. Although they're not super synergetic, but they're not bad to have in your toolbox.
Yeah, they cost 4 soul stones.
So that's like cheap. They're tied with Tengu.
In price, yeah.
For price.
And for gremlins, I mean, it's a 4 soul stone model they can play around with. I mean, it's one more than a normal gremlin, but so this is their stat line. Defense 5, willpower 5, 5 wounds, a walk of 5, a charge of 7, and height 1. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So they're kind of short.
It's roughly the same
Not
stat
bad.
line as Tengu, except the charge is better. And Tengu are height 2.
So decent stat line for a 4-point model.
So this is really cool. Filth Eater. At the start of this model's activation, it may transfer the full value of the poison condition from target model within 6 of this model to this model.
Yep.
So,
And
it can take poison from one target and put it upon itself.
yeah, so it can take the poison from people.
And there's no resistance to that.
Right. And the other thing is, it's not an aura, so it doesn't need line of sight.
Yeah.
As long as you're within 6 inches, which, weird, but Malifaux rules, you could be on like a 10-inch tower, as long as you're 6 inches that way.
I can see. Curious how that does. Is it just like, oh, that poison? Or like you have a fermented river monk, like all drunk and everything. He's like, ah. He's totally intoxicated and he just sucks out all the alcohol. It becomes, he no longer becomes a fermented river monk, he just becomes a river monk. Sorry, I'm a dork. And this is another really interesting. Lick their corpses. Another non-Akaname model places a scrap or corpse marker within 6 of this model may push 2 towards the marker and gain 2 poison.
So but does it say it's not enemy, just not themselves?
Yeah, but
so
see the one thing I'm thinking of is like the Akaname is an Oni and Tri Chi. It doesn't even drop any markers when it dies.
No.
Oh
yeah, so it's minion.
I know why.
If Joss were to kill him, he'd drop a scrap.
Also, I forgot there's some triggers that some of the other Oni can give to make you drop markers.
Right.
So that's why. Okay, yeah.
Model places. Yeah, so it's a non-Akaname that places a scrap or corpse marker within 6 of this model. So it doesn't matter who or how the marker was placed. If Joss kills somebody, it drops. They wouldn't normally drop a scrap. They drop 1 extra. Or if you were Obsidian Oni, shoot somebody and force them. The Obsidian Oni, I believe, drops the scrap marker, and then the Akaname can push.
Yeah.
Now the question is, does he drop any? Because you're right, he normally doesn't.
Yeah.
But.
And then the next one is
Wretched.
Wretched. I think this is when it just doesn't take damage from poison.
Yeah.
Wretched. If this model is immune to damage from its poison condition and may choose not to lower the value of poison condition. So very similar to all the stuff that has like that doesn't take damage from poison.
Yeah.
And may choose not to lower the condition. Very like Shenlong can. So now to its attacks. It has Razor Edge Tongue. So target suffers 1, 3, 4 damage. The attack gains a bonus to its melee equal to the target's poison condition value up to a maximum of +3. So in theory, you can get his melee from 5 to an 8, depending on the poison condition on the model.
So he's already liking the way I can't remember his
Brewmaster.
name. Yeah, Brewmaster gives out poison.
Yeah, and it has built-in infect, which just after damaging, after succeeding, target gains
one
poison.
built-in.
Yeah, and then tongue lashing. After succeeding, the target gains the following condition until end of turn: embraced. This model may not declare walk actions while engaged. So its tongue wraps around the model, and it can't take walk actions. It becomes embraced.
While engaged. So if they were to push him out or the Akaname out, however, as soon as anything re-engages him, that model can't walk. But if you can get him not engaged with maybe his own personal placement effect, then you can,
And then it has this really cool shoot action. Spray Filth.
Yeah.
It's a 5 with a crow built in. Resists defense. Its range is 8. Pretty respectable.
Not great, but a decent range.
Yeah. Target gains poison 1 condition. And then with the crow, with great enthusiasm.
So you always give him poison, and then built-in crow.
After succeeding, reduce the poison condition value on this model by up to 3 to a minimum of 0. For each value of poison lowers, the target gains poison 1. So, in theory, you can try to transfer the poison.
So, right, okay, so it kind of goes like this. You've got something like your drunken river monk who's given himself a bunch of poison, but maybe you don't feel like giving yourself reactivate. Like, so you activate the Akaname, he says, give me that poison, and then with great enthusiasm he just uses projectile vomit to move all of that poison both on himself and that he took.
Well, the interesting thing that's really nice that you can probably pull off with this, with Brewmaster, one of Brewmaster's abilities is to put a model at negative flips for both. For negative
Based
flips.
on if it's poison,
So
right?
you can, in theory, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, it's literally, like, it's cast 7, if you fail, you are at negative flips.
Oh, okay.
For willpower and defense duels.
Okay, so willpower and defense.
So then you can, in theory...
Yeah,
so
because it is a shoot, I believe. Shoot of 5, so with only 5, it's not super reliable, but... Right.
If you're at negative flips, like,
as soon as you have negative flips, that gets rough.
Yeah.
You're down to the top deck.
Yeah, like, ugh. And then, I mean, shoot 5, well, it's not going to stop, like, if somebody's defense 7 and they flip a 13, like, well, okay.
Well, but remember negative, so they'd have to flip multiple high cards, multiple face cards.
Which is probably even good for you, I mean, if that's 2 face cards gone. So now
depending how much you need.
Now to its tactical actions. A foul gift. Casting 5 with the crow. Target number 10.
And this is its 0 action.
Yeah. If this model has the poison 2 condition or higher, end the poison condition on this model to place a ski marker in base contact with this model. But if you get a mask, which is not built in, you get putrefaction. After succeeding, this is what we're talking about. After succeeding, place a corpse or scrap marker in base contact with the ski marker, then discard the ski marker.
So that's the big one, is that with his trigger, he can place a corpse marker, and they don't want you pushing and, giving yourself poison.
Yeah, I think that's, they don't want you to, like, I have 2 Akaname.
Right, because think about that. One Akaname places a corpse marker, and all 3 of them get to push towards it and gain poison too. Like, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, as it is...
poison 1, not 2.
Oh, from this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, an additional poison 1.
Yeah.
But still, even just poison 1.
Yeah.
Because then that puts you in this infinite loop of the 3 of them can net everybody poison 1 and 3 corpse markers.
Yeah.
Like, as it is, I think they're very interesting with gremlins simply because, like, even with somebody like Sommer, you're summoning so many little bio gremlins that you know they're gonna die. Whether you're using Lucky Shot to get that high damage spread or Recklessing till you're gone, get your bro, all that stuff. And then Akaname is just like, give me that poison when you die.
I said, for a summon for Asami, I think it's more situational. Actually, the ability to drop corpse markers, that might...
It is an interesting ability, although it's kind of weird because you need poison 2. So getting there is where it becomes difficult because you gain 1 each turn automatically, and then Lick Their Corpses can give you 1 more.
Well, that's interesting. No, there's no way for it to get automatically.
Is it at the start of this model's activation?
At this activation, it may transfer.
Oh. So yeah, it can't even give itself poison except for stealing it or Lick Their Corpses.
Yeah.
So that's why, with her, it's kind of tough to... Because they don't even have good defensive abilities either. Yeah. So...
I think for her, it will be another thing in her toolbox. Like, I'm playing against McMorning. You know.
I don't even know when. But the thing is,
flesh constructs. It's like, it's going to get reactivate. Summon Akanami right there, and just like it loses the reactivate. The flesh constructs. If
it's not based on poison.
I thought
the reactivate is.
I thought if they have poison on them, they can get the reactivate.
I think it's related to cards in hand.
Okay.
I think.
I think it's the cards in hand, and they have to have poison. But if not, I see like if you're dealing with like if you're playing against, I'm Asami and I'm playing against a Brewmaster crew. Well, I could summon some Akaname.
Actually, that's one moment. Is if they're planning on actually poisoning your guys, because McMorning's weird because a lot of times McMorning will just pile the poison onto one person and immediately kill them with Expunge. Yeah. In which case Akaname aren't. But then Brewmaster, that's the counter pick. where dropping an Akaname, and is it all or just one?
Which one?
Full value of the poison condition from target model. Okay, so he has to target a model, but you can get your poison off because doesn't Brewmaster have some stuff that affects you based on your poison level?
Yes,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
a willpower debuff.
Yeah. You would suffer. Yes. It's a debuff up to I believe 3. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah, I'm still not sure where their real use is outside of Brewmaster.
I'm trying to think of what you would do with the gremlins. Well, maybe because we don't play gremlins enough.
That's another, and so yeah, we're not seeing too much of the synergy, like the obvious.
Yeah.
The whole Tri-Chi list likes them.
Yeah. Other than the Tri-Chi.
And as a summon for Asami, although I don't think I'd take them by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Akaname, the filth monsters, poop monsters.
Yeah. Now we're going to remember what it was called from D&D, and then it's just going to, like, right after this video is over, we're going to remember it. So the next one is the Banjonist.
Banjonist.
That's a gremlin. It's cost 5. It's defense 5, willpower 5, 6 wounds, a walk of 5, a charge of 6, and height 1. So very relatively normal gremlin stat line.
Yep.
So they got Foggy Bayou Hoedown. When this model activates, all friendly non-rooster gremlins within 6 may push 2 in any direction.
Okay.
That's
so 6-inch aura to help move people around.
Yeah, and then the Bayou Blues. After another friendly non-pig model is killed or sacrificed within 6 of one or more models with this ability, draw a card. Oh, okay.
So not pigs.
Killed or sacrificed.
So non-pigs, killed or sacrificed.
Which, I mean, that works well with Sommer.
Yeah.
Where,
already we're seeing, that 6-inch aura.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you getting cards when your bio-gremlins die, but you're pushing them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 inches isn't a whole lot, but it can make a difference.
Well, an extra 2 inches, yeah.
And the fact that it's everybody within 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only downside is it's when the Banjonist activates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to place yourself in the right position.
Well, then I love that. No roosters. Because they just no.
They don't need a 2-inch push.
they're fast enough already as it is. So then they got defense trigger with a mask, high pitched squeal. Same thing for all gremlins. That's that 4-inch push defensive, which is not built in.
Yep, not built in on there for defense.
Then so they've got for their melee actions, Banjo Bash, which is melee 5, resist by defense, range 1.
Wow.
Target suffers 1, 2, 3 damage, but has a trigger with a crow's called Kabong. So when damaging, this attack deals +1 damage, and this model's activation.
Oh, you broke my damn...
BANG!
Yeah.
That's from something else. That's from an old cartoon, I remember. Kabong.
Kabong?
Kabong. I don't know, it's because I remember someone would do that. They had a banjo, and they would like charge around and they'd hit people with the banjo. They go kabong.
Okay.
No, all right. Or maybe I just had a weird childhood.
No, that sounds like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
It does. Yeah, maybe it was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Banjo music, casting 5, resist willpower, range 8. Target suffers 2, 2, 3 damage. This attack ignores armor. Okay.
Ah, my ears!
Flaming Banjo. After damaging the target gains the burning 1 condition.
And what is that on?
That's on a Rams.
Okay.
Okay, and then Banjo Roll. After succeeding, take this action again against a different target. This attack may not declare triggers.
Alright, so on a mask, you get to attack a second different target.
And then another one is next target. After damaging, push a small 4 in any direction.
Okay, which I'm used to seeing on Masaki with a mask.
Yeah,
next
so
target.
So you can either put them on fire, do this attack action again, or push yourself 4 inches.
And that is a non-projectile, right? Just a flat 8. So you can use it in melee. You can use it both while you're engaged and into an engagement.
And it ignores armor too, which is pretty nice.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
I mean, 2, 2, 3 is not great, but it's not bad. Like,
yeah.
and at least it gets through that armor.
Like I need to finish Snuff. Doing.
Depending on, yeah, they can get a few extra wounds through on stuff.
And they have so for their attack, the last attack action is pluck the strings. Casting 5, resist willpower, range 10. Target model gains the following condition until end of the game. Paranoid. At the start of this model's activation, it must discard a card or suffer 2 damage. Then end this condition. All models within 3 of the target must succeed a target number 14 willpower duel or gain the paranoid condition until the end of the game. Oh god, I'm paranoid! And then was it you either take damage or you discard 2 cards?
Is it 2 or 1?
Oh, discard a card, sorry.
So it's 1 card or 2 damage.
I'm so used to everything being
and then
2
it just
cards.
ends.
Yeah.
Well, that's because there's 2 cards is a hard choice. 1 card is a not maybe. But yeah, so it's 2 damage. So unless they really have to, it's a weird one because its range is a little better.
Yeah.
But it's the same casting, and it's at most 2 damage. It doesn't ignore armor. And they get to choose whether they take damage or a card.
And if you end the condition, all models within 3 must make a 14 willpower duel or gain that same condition.
Oh, that's also what's the pulse?
Well, the pulse
3.
is 3.
So, okay, I guess if you did it gives them a group attack that lets them target one model, give it paranoid, and then when they end it, there'll be a pulse.
It's still relatively and then the trigger, which needs a mask, which is not built in. After succeeding against another friendly banjonist in play may immediately take the pluck the strings action. So
that's the other one, is that with a lot of, that's masks, right? With a lot of masks, you could have 2 banjonists go back and forth, just and give out all kinds.
But see, it's like that cast of 5 though. That's still very...
yes, that's the only thing, is that all of their stuff is a 5 to hit.
Actually, I'm thinking the banjonist. I think there might be some synergies between the brewmaster and the banjonist.
True, they have 2 that target willpower.
Well, no, the thing about it is the brewmaster has an upgrade where you reduce your willpower based on the poison value.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at with them is they're targeting willpower with their 2 main attacks, right?
Yeah.
They are willpower both?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is interesting.
And another thing that would be really good is because what Brewmaster wants, in essence, what Brewmaster wants, I want you all to come to me and drinking, getting stupid drinking, and then what you want you have the banjonist there, doing and putting paranoid condition on all these models.
Well, and
but it's also your models as well, right?
What does it say? Just
at this paranoid target model gets one at the start. I just got 2 cards.
A card.
A card, yeah. All enemy models. So it's okay. So it's
it's whoever has it. It actually doesn't affect their models with the pulse, because it's that model has the paranoid, and when it ends, all of his enemies within the pulse.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily for grouped. However, it would be very interesting to put on your own.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, if Brewmaster's pulled in a bunch of people, you could just paranoid your own Brewmaster.
Yeah.
Activate him, put out his pulse.
Yeah, it's like, psh, nifty. Okay.
And so that's where the dueling banjos is still very neat, because they could throw it on, let's say, him, and then a different one activates, he throws it on a new model, and they can do that back and forth.
Dueling banjos.
Putting it on enemy models and your friendlies, possibly.
And then just stacking that condition on it could be kind of crazy.
It's also kind of weird that, imagine a Bayou Gremlin who only has, 2 hit points left because maybe he butted into a new gremlin or used Reckless.
Yeah.
And so you throw it on him, he'd activate, he'd pulse out, he'd take 2 damage, pulse out, then you'd draw a card for him dying.
Yeah.
And potentially hit some enemy models.
Okay.
There's a lot of weird synergies with them.
Yeah. And that's just what we can figure out. The very obvious ones we can probably figure out.
And of course, the dueling banjos on that last one, you do need to buy 2 of them. That's 10 points at least 2 to make
I
that
mean,
work.
but the nice thing about gremlins is like they usually.
Well, and that's just depending what list you're in, whether
Yeah.
you can fit that. They're always useful for just having one of them for their auras. So I could see Sommer deciding to take 1 or 2 of these.
Yeah. Just for the option.
Yep.
And then the final, Ganondorf, the old school Ganondorf himself. Remember, first Ganondorf was actually a pig man.
Vaguely, yeah.
Swine Cursed.
The swine curse.
It's a minion. So it's a pig man, obviously. It's it's a minion living rare 2. They're gremlins. They cost 7 soul stones. Probably no, it's not the most
Not a
expensive.
beast.
I know, right? You're hoping to take it away.
Maybe.
Which their stat line is not very gremlin, if I do say it. Defense.
Well, the big pigmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defense 6, willpower 5, 7 wounds, walk of 5, charge of 8, height of 2.
Yep, that seems a lot more like a pig, honestly.
Okay, this is really cool. Blast resistance +1. Reduce all damage this model suffers from pulses and blasts
Okay.
effects by +1 to a minimum of 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead
Wong,
of being completely immune, they're resistant, and Wong
Yeah.
is an obvious pops to mind.
It has reckless, so
Okay, reckless. It can take 1 damage, right? To gain 1 AP.
take 1 damage to get 1 additional AP. Yeah.
Just better than fast that Gremlins have.
Wait till you see the tactical actions and you'll be like, what the hell? So it has failed experiment. When this model is deployed, it gains the following condition for the rest of the game: magical. Magical damage dealt by this model ignores armor, hard to kill, and incorporeal. Yep. So one more time: armor, hard to kill, and incorporeal.
So unless they can get rid of that, and that's the same thing Glowy gives you, right?
It's when this model is deployed.
No, I mean Wong. Wong gives out glow. If he takes the Glowy upgrade, he gives out magical to someone.
Oh really? Oh.
That's the big deal with Glowy, is that he gets to pick one model. Usually something really big like McTarvish, or like in his box it's I can't remember his name, the Lucha Libre guy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's kind of a beater, so in his box he's the obvious choice.
Melee expert, all that.
And so they already have that as soon as they're hired.
Built in, because in the fluff there, Wong made them.
Yeah, tried to merge a pig and a gremlin.
Yeah, a failed experiment. So
Quite good.
really good attacks though. So one transforming tusks. So it's melee 6 with the crow built in. Resist defense, range 2. Target suffers 2, 3, 5 damage. This attack must declare a trigger if able. So with the crow, help me! After succeeding, the target gains the following condition until end of turn: embraced. So same thing as
right. So
as
long as they hit, they have embraced automatically.
Yeah, and then the other one is
Or they can't walk.
frenzied oinking. Oh God! Squeal for me. Whee! Yeah. All right. That's the summer. After succeeding, this model must charge the closest legal non-pig target that is not engaged with. This charge may be made while engaged. This trigger may not be declared more than once per activation, and only if this model has the pig characteristic. Wait.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
And so the base attack there, the tusks.
Yeah.
It seems a little low for like a 7 Soulstone model, but it has some good triggers on there.
Well, yeah, because referring back to punk zombies, their damage bar is 2, 4, 5, and a built-in positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's theirs?
2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
But then you've got the built-in trigger.
Right, and so the built-in, and then they don't normally have the pig characteristic for that second trigger.
Mm-hmm.
However,
one of them is not too close. Target friendly model within 4 is pushed 4 inches away.
And what is that? 1. Okay. So a friendly within 4 is pushed 4 away. So it's pushed away, so it's not any direction, it has to be directly away, and it's a friendly model. So they have an interesting little push where you could, like beginning of the game, position them to push some guys.
So,
Very interesting.
coughing from 10 Thunder, so stealing all the pushes.
And actually, the way things work, if you were in base contact with a model, and you use that action, you would push 4, and you'd be just within 4 to push again.
Oh, you're right.
You have to be base contact to do it twice, but you can.
Which, you can push them all 8. Wow.
But that'd be like an interesting first turn, but 7 points for the Swine
Or
Curse,
just-
that's not really... That doesn't seem viable, but
Yeah.
it's there.
And then the 0, what's happening to Oink? It's casting 5, no triggers, or sorry, no built-in, what's it called? I'm brain farting really bad. No built-in, suits. No built-in suits.
Yeah, no suits needed.
You need a 7 of anything, so target number 12. If this model has the gremlin characteristic, it loses the gremlin characteristic, gains the pig characteristic, and heals 1, 2, 3. So,
Okay.
I foresee...
Oh, that's an interesting one. They could Reckless on first turn.
Actually,
The funny thing is you could maybe that is viable first turn to push something 8 because they could Reckless, push you twice,
yes,
have 1 AP left to walk, and then use their 0 to turn into a pig
and
man.
then heal...
And then they'd heal.
Then heal 1.
So, okay, so if you don't have the gremlin, you become a pig and you heal.
Yeah.
So they have a
But
second zero.
then there's oink oink ... to me. Casting 5, needing another 7. So target number 12 again. If this model has the pig characteristic, it loses the pig characteristic, gains the gremlin characteristic, and heals 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so each time he just turns from one to the other and heals.
I think there's like just use a solid minion for 7 soul stones. That heal is really interesting.
Yeah, okay, so like we said, their attack doesn't seem like crazy good, but then their heal, they've got a really solid heal. The only problem, of course, being that they're not super durable for 7 stones, but if the opponent doesn't manage to kill them, and they get away or they do something, yeah, they could definitely cause some damage.
There's some really good synergies, I think, with this guy. What's his name? Ulix.
Yeah.
Probably X with Swine Curse. It's better than a pig for hitting purposes, and you could summon off of them when they're in pig form.
Depends on the pig.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what they're called. Their damage is very similar to that of a, why can't I remember what they're called? The boars, wild boar. So the damage is similar to a wild boar. The wild boar is 1 point less. It has... I know it has Eat Your Fill. And they're just different. They serve different roles.
Yeah, this is different.
But yes, the fact that he does turn into a pig, I could see, like we were saying, that weird first turn. So he's a pig with Reckless.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that Ulix, I think, loves. So, for example, first turn, you go Reckless, you move way forward, and while he's not the ideal target for this, he could be very interesting to give turn himself into a pig, shot in the rear, and that's the one that lets you immediately charge, and you can, if you kill the target, you can continue to pinball.
Oh, okay. And then he has Frenzied Oinking.
Which could give him... So, his weird thing, I think, is that especially with Ulix, but even on his own, he can get to models that you wouldn't expect him to.
Yeah.
Because he's got a charge of 8, engagement of 2, so that's a 10-inch threat. He could charge a model.
Yeah.
Charge it obliquely so that he just barely got in, and then he had 10 inches from that model if he gets Frenzied Oinking to charge something else.
Yeah.
So he could... For a gremlin, I think he is the weirdest charge.
Yeah. Because, I mean, kind of Misaki-esque, where it's like you can just, like...
Clearly not as good.
No,
Nobody's as good as Misaki.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes, the fact that he can redirect his charge like that, always good.
I see a lot of good possible opportunities to use them with maybe Ulix. I mean, even the blast resistance.
Yeah. So the obvious two are Ulix and
Wong. Yeah.
They seem like a decent... Although that's interesting. They're not resistant to Wong's initial attack, only the blast if they're placed over them. So they're not necessarily the best target.
Also, the pig,
But yes, piglet. When the stuffed piglet explodes, he will take less. And does it reduce it to 0, potentially? Or is it
to
a
a minimum of 1.
Okay, so it's like armor.
Yeah.
So right, you'd want your piglet to do at least 2 damage, and then you'd reduce it to 1, and
Yeah. Pretty good. The failed experiment. That's probably why his damage spread is so much lower, because of the failed experiments. The magical.
True. So does
because punk zombies do not ignore armor and hard to kill and
right.
aura.
And meanwhile, yeah. So comparing him to a punk zombie, because they're both 7, and that's he doesn't have flurry. His attack isn't quite as good.
He doesn't have hard to kill.
Then you're right. He's not as durable. But then he's got that magical that just lets him target certain models and put on the hurt. Because you need to get lucky, or just have an amazing hand, but he could charge and kill Lazarus.
In theory, yes.
Because you'd have to get severe twice. Mm-hmm. But actually, he has reckless, so he could potentially only get it once and then do a 3 and a 2. Yeah.
So it's very similar. So with the reckless, with reckless, I think
they're a cool option for gremlins to have for anti-armor, because I don't know what else they have that's really good anti-armor.
The banjos.
Oh, they got 2 things with anti-armor in them this time.
I'm not sure about the rest of the faction.
Does he have any? He doesn't have any ram triggers, does he?
He does.
He does?
Frenzy Doink.
Oh, but that turns him into a pig to use that.
No, he has to be a pig to use that, yeah.
Which means he's not a gremlin, which means he can't get, I can't remember his name. What's the...
Lenny's aura of
He can only get Lenny when he's a gremlin, and when he's a gremlin he can't do the ram's trigger. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn you for play testing him.
Oh.
I bet you that was posted that just came out. Alright, so we'll go into the new upgrades.
I got some zeros.
Oh, we got 1 for the whiskey golem. So what the whiskey golem gets,
and so this one is dual faction 10 Thunders Gremlins, since it's only a gremlin model, but it could be infiltrated. So when infiltrated in 10 Thunders, it can still take this upgrade.
This model gains the following trigger to its barrel to the face action.
Smooth finish
with a rams or a tomes. Barrel up. After succeeding, take the smoky finish action.
Okay, so on either of those, after you hit an enemy with your attack, you get to heal.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people, what the golem seemed to be lacking was durability in a lot of ways.
I mean, with armor 2 though, that's pretty good, dude.
Well, armor 2, but I think like a lot of things that have high armor, its wounds weren't crazy for its cost. Yeah, and now it can just focus on punching you and getting that trigger to heal itself.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't get KO'd by something like the Vix, or heck, I think even Joss would have trouble chopping through him.
Oh yeah.
He's got, I think the golem is 9 wounds?
10 wounds, I believe.
Is it 10?
Yeah, 10 wounds, yeah. It's a relatively high wound count, and with armor 2. Pretty good. I don't play with him enough to be able to.
But it's a free upgrade now.
It's a free upgrade, yeah. So now
make you a bit more tanky.
Yeah, and then there's this one pig against the world. The war pig may attach this upgrade as if it were an enforcer. So
war pig's normally a minion.
It's a rare 3 too.
Rare 3? Oh, yeah.
Rare 3, so you can get.
War pigs are probably rare 3 themselves.
Are they? Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe they don't want you spamming war pigs, something like that. So this the model gains the following ability: 1 pig against the world. At the start of of this model's activation, it may discard this upgrade. If it does, until the end of the activation, it ignores the setter off ability, +2 willpower, and gains +2 all flips.
Yep.
Damn. So, and it's a 0 too.
Right. So this is just the free upgrade that the war pig gets. So I haven't looked at the war pig. You know the funny thing, I've heard people saying like, I didn't know the war pig needed a buff, and I just haven't played enough Gremlins. But whenever I hear people talking about Gremlins, the war pig's rarely mentioned. It's usually stuff like Rooster Riders and some other.
And like what people that want pigs, they want Gracie or Old Major.
And you think even in Ulix, there's a couple big ones, and you usually either take or summon piglets or his wild boars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the War Pig, but that sounds amazing. It's like pseudo recall training
For pigs, for the War Pig.
the War Pig.
That's really good, actually. Plus 2 willpower. Because he does have... I know it does have a relatively low willpower.
5 or less.
Yeah. And then there's this one called Pork Whispering.
So this is a new upgrade.
This model gains the following ability. Pork Whispering. Friendly pig models activate with an 8 may ignore the center off ability for the duration activation. Pig Call. At the end of this model's activation, this model may discard this upgrade to push target pig within 8 up to its walk in any direction. Woo!
So this is a 1-point upgrade, and it's Gremlin Rare 3. So you have to be a Gremlin, and you can have up to 3 of them.
So in theory, you can have 3 separate Gremlins with this upgrade.
I mean, the big thing is it gives you Pork Whispering for 1 point without needing to like actually buy a Hog Whisperer.
Yeah, Hog Whisperer. Well, I mean, they were not too expensive, but then it gives you the option of like, because usually if you were playing a Ulix, I want to run pigs all over the place, and you'd have to take Hog Whisperers.
And the weird thing is, I'm not sure exactly who you'd put it on. Just depends. I guess it's one of those like if you took. Can't even think. Because Ulix, most of his stuff are all pigs anyway, so they can't take it. You have to be a gremlin.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So gives, I think it probably gives the non-pig oriented crews the option.
Oh, that's probably. If you want to take a war pig or some wild boars, but you don't want to take a hog whisperer.
Yeah. Like it's
now Lenny can take pork whispering.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't feel like a tax. Like the Hog Whisperer was a tax if you wanted to run a pig.
Yeah, like he's like what 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Which I mean, for it doesn't seem that much, but for
actually the funny thing is I heard he's a good mercenary to take sometimes. You know, because you can grab him and he's reckless, so you can generate 3 AP and you can shove him in somebody's face. Or
just do some scheme running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then this next one's it's a rare one, Do Over. This model gains the following ability: Do Over. Once per turn, after resolving an attack action that randomizes due to engagement, and ended up targeting a friendly model, this model may discard a card to take the same attack action again if able.
Okay, so and it's rare what anybody can take it.
Yeah, once per turn after resolving an attack action that randomizes due to engagement and ended.
So once per turn, if you end up randomizing and hitting your own guy, you can discard a card.
Oh, and do it again. Okay.
And re-randomize.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's that. Again, I'm not 100% sure who would take do-over, who's going to be shooting enough to
Wong.
Make it worth it. And that's Wong himself could take it.
You could, in theory.
Although he has that other upgrade that lets him flip multiple cards for non-duels.
Oh.
So what one of his 2 limiteds already has something sort of like that. So whenever he flips a card that's not part of a duel or damage flip, he flips an additional card. So when he's randomizing, he'd flip 2 cards for his model, 2 cards for your model, and get to pick which 2.
Oh, okay.
It gives him positive flips for like
non-duels,
non-damage, like. However,
for gremlin shooting.
It is a limited upgrade, so he could take that in place of that and take the other limited. And yes, anybody who no, he already doesn't randomize. McTarvish already doesn't randomize. But you're right. Anytime
or
you
like
have
other gremlins, yeah. And then this one's trade in. At the start of this model's activation, you may discard this upgrade to draw 2 cards. So that option when you're like, I'm like, oh crap, I have all I have is like 1s, 2s, and 3s, like, and
or even if like you're playing and it looks like he doesn't need do-over at all, it's just completely pointless. Trade it in.
Yeah, for 2 cards.
So it has an option. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. One model can have do-over. Yeah.
Yeah, let's finish that. Yeah. I'm getting really excited. Okay, so overall, I like all the additions. I really do like Zip. He's he does play into like how the Gremlins are. Every master feels so different from each other. Like when you look at Resurrection, like for example, when you look at Resurrectionists, Sure, each summoner is slightly different, but they usually involve like some type of summoning mechanic.
What am I thinking? Three of their big masters are summoning focused.
Yeah.
They all have their own twist on it to make their summoning unique. Like we said, if all Asami did was summon, she would not be nearly as good. The fact that she has her Akirio, the Akirio in that Malevolence aura is what sets her apart.
Asami,
not
Karai.
Sorry, wrong Asian lady. Right, Asami's the Oni, Karai is a spirit. So yes, Karai. Nicoderm is just the best at summoning anything.
Yeah.
And
Molly. I have this huge toolbox.
That's three of them that do very similar things.
But Zap, Zap, very interference oriented. A lot of really cool random abilities, just being annoying as hell. Some of the other new models, I think the first mate seems like kind of he might be very situational. Like depending on strategy scheme, he might be really good. Unless
you're gonna take him and his upgrade and get maximum use out of scheme mark removal. He's gonna stay at home.
Yeah, Iron Skeeters, we see. I think that we're gonna see a lot of play. There's gonna be some combo that's gonna be really good.
Out of everything they got, I think Iron Skeeters, like you said, are gonna be the most seen.
I'm gonna put the Akanami in the Akanami seems obviously very Brewmaster oriented, but for other crew,
just really not sure what to do with him.
Yeah, with he can't generate his own poison, but he transfers poison from all over the place. For 10 Thunders, he works with Brewmaster and 10 Thunders over there, or Asami can summon them.
Yep.
The Banjonist.
Nice little support piece.
Yeah,
5 points.
A nice support piece. Depending on if you're fighting something with relatively low willpower, and you want to try to ignore armor, it's really good. Also, we talked about like some of the synergies with Brewmaster with that one. And then the Swanker, just a solid minion, solid 7-point minion.
Yeah.
Damage isn't super exciting, but it ignores a lot.
Yeah. I think as an overall package, he could be useful. Yeah. Like we said, Wong definitely comes to mind with his blast resistance.
Yeah. And their upgrades, nice one on the Whiskey Golem. I don't play much, so I can't really...
Yeah.
But, I heard that was I heard like the complaints about it not being very... you'd have to spend actions for it to heal.
Right. It's, I think, a one action to take that action normally.
Yeah.
Which means it can't do damage while it's tanking.
Yeah.
And there are models that can out there, so... Yeah, there were better choices. Now, pretty solid.
Yeah, and then the war pigs, making pigs better. I mean, and also the Pork Whisperer, and I really like the Pork Whisperer, because as we were talking about, being able to, I want to have pigs on my list, but I don't want to pay that 4 snowstones for it.
Either, right, anything with the setter off, it'd be nice to, and now it's interesting, that does affect... wild boars, even though theirs is slightly different, but it specifically says Pork Whispering will prevent it. Yeah.
And then Do-Over. In certain situations, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
In worst case scenario...
I see it having like 1 or 2 models that it's going to be,
but then there's going to be those moments where you're like, oh man, like I said, you're down, you have a really crappy hand, and you really need cards right now. The ability to ditch... And not even having to discard cards either. So let's say, okay, this is going to be a really intense turn. I'm going to need those cards, because it's going to be back and forth. Overall, thumbs up for you Gremlin players, and it's another really good addition for Malfa. And then we're going to jump into... Happy. We're going to talk... Finally. We've been doing this for like 3 days. And I've been like
3 days over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, of trying, of wanting to talk about this faction. We're gonna be jumping into 10 Thunders next, so we will see you guys there.